Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com, and in this video we're looking at a spectacular Speedmaster with the Omega Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon. So in this video and on this channel we cover watches available for purchase on our website at TeddyBaldassarre.com as an authorized dealer. So in this video, deep dive on this timepiece, final points of consideration at the end, but also throughout this video if you have further questions or are looking to buy this watch, check out the link in the description down below to the product page. But without further ado, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. Now, while some of the main draws to Omega for most enthusiasts are going to be their historic ties to space and their connection to pop culture as well as their designs, another core element to their history is their unrelenting pursuit of leading technology in watchmaking. Whether we're talking about their early excellence in the area of chronometry, their different testing standards, or scaling production of the innovative coaxial escapement, the brand's sturdy reputation has been built brick by brick with each new discovery. However, another area of focus that has become its own area of identity is the use of cutting-edge materials. Now, one of the prime examples of this is their use of ceramic in a piece that comes from a model that takes a contemporary approach to the timeless Speedmaster Professional, formerly known as the Omega Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon. The watch tweaks some classic approaches by opting for a full ceramic case, dial, pops of gold in the process, and a manufacturer movement on the inside. So it is important to start with what is probably the most standout feature of this watch, its case construction. Constructed from black zirconium oxide ceramic and involving several steps, the deep inky black tones carried throughout the design language are achieved through a unique forging process that starts from a raw material and then is heated to temperatures up to 1400 degrees Celsius until it forms to its precise shape. The glossy reflective nature comes in from a tumbling polishing process as well as from a traditional polishing wheel that helps with the topping off of the case with those notable facets running the case length. The material and process are all done in a manner so that the case will maintain its color and will achieve impressive scratch resistance compared to that of stainless steel. The fixed bezel features a tachometer scale that is meticulously engraved, also being made of ceramic. Ceramic has developed a reputation for its surface hardness, and unless introduced to incredible shocks, you should have little concern about its durability and will find it holds up exceptionally well against basic wear and tear. So if you're familiar with the traditional Omega Speedmaster dimensions, there is going to be a larger case profile that you're being presented with here, with a diameter of 44.25 millimeters paired with a thickness of 16.1 millimeters and a fairly compact lug-to-lug size of 49.6 millimeters for that case diameter. Now, similar to the Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch, this case does wear much smaller than the dimension may lead on, with this watch wearing closer to a 42 millimeter on wrist based on its compact lug-to-lug, lighter weight, and a case diameter without the pushers that measures closer to 41.5 millimeters. Set between oddly sized 21 millimeter lugs sits a matching stitch black coated nylon strap backed with a supple calf leather with red accent stitching on that reverse side, and the strap is lightly padded and terminates at a 2-button deployant made with a combination of titanium and ceramic, feeling very premium in its use. Looking closer, the case at 3 o'clock has a polished push-pull crown equipped with deep cut grooves for easy time setting and hand winding, sporting the Omega symbol in an off-white on the polished dome top. At 2 and 4 are going to be your pump style pushers used for chronograph operation with your stop and start at 2 and your 4 acting as your reset. The protruding elements are recessed into the case, adding an element of protection without adding excessive bulk. Continuing with the ceramic construction, the deep black of the glossy dial sets an elegant backdrop for a dual sub-register layout. A fine minute track runs along the outer edge just beyond the set perimeter of the applied rectangular indices, which appear to float on the dark surface beneath. Superluminova is housed within the hands at the hour markers and with the 12 o'clock index getting an additional help of 2 individual lume plots. At 3, we get a 2-hand chronograph counter measuring 12 hours and 60 minutes separately, helping to add to the flexibility for timing without the need for a 3rd register. And our running seconds is going to be sitting at the 9 o'clock register, and a color match date sits at 6 o'clock. At its center, 18 karat white gold hour and minute hands are rhodium plated and polished with a central skeletonized portion holding a strip of lume. The aero chronograph hand features its own lume tip to ensure visibility in both bright and dark conditions. Dial text is well balanced, opposing one another at 12 and 6, with the Omega logo proudly sitting at 12 right above the hidden ZR02 text, with the 6 o'clock text referencing the movement technology awaiting us as we flip the watch around. So the movements that powered the Speedmasters over the years have maintained their own level of fanfare and fascination that have reached levels that can even outdo many popular watches in the industry. Although in the last decade, we have begun to see changes in the calibers housed within the Speedmaster as the collection has continued to evolve. Housed inside the Dark Side of the Moon here, beneath the safety of a dome sapphire crystal, is Omega's caliber 9300, an in-house automatic column wheel chronograph caliber. caliber. The movement is a nice sight for the eyes, delivering a spiral wave pattern across the bridges and the rotor, a tasteful presentation of jewels, and polished edges on the sinks and the bridge edges. The movement, as mentioned, is column wheel operated, with cutaways within the central bridge showing it off. The balance architecture is of a free sprung variety and utilizes a silicone balance spring to help alleviate the negative effects of magnetism and shocks. Further, the 9300 is a dual barrel movement, achieving 60 hours of power reserve, has a quick set hour hand at that second position, and then utilizes the coaxial escapement, an escapement system created by Dr. George Daniels, considered to be the greatest watchmaker of the 20th century by many. The technology was acquired by Omega and has been rolled out into their watches in the 21st century to impressive scale. The coaxial system utilizes a modified escapement wheel, pallet fork, and an additional jewel on the balance roller in order to reduce sliding friction and in the process increase the length of the service interval. Finally, this caliber is COSC certified, with the movement passing all the necessary steps to become a certified chronometer, running within the quoted acceptable range of -4 to +6 seconds per day. In terms of general operation here, you're looking at 28,800 vibrations per hour, 4 Hz with this movement, hacking and hand winding, hacking stop in the second hand when you pull the crown to the farthest position, and a power reserve of 60 hours. All right, so now to unpack, looking a little bit further at the Omega Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon. So this is going to be a piece that is not, of course, going to compete with the likes of the Professional. So who is this watch generally for? Yes, it's going to be higher in price and a little bit larger in size, but it's also in its own lane, being distinct for its use of case material and, of course, its styling. Now, ceramic as a material is, of course, not going to be for everybody, but with that manufacturing process from Omega, it's really going to have this beautiful glisten look on those facets and on the profile of the case, and will also help in alleviating some of the scratches that you would normally see on stainless steel that you won't see here. Now, the case is also one that I think you have to try on. Sure, it is going to be larger than a Speedmaster Professional, but the Speedmaster Professional, I would say, is one of the most wearable watches for the vast majority of wrists in the entire industry. Yes, this is going to wear closer to, I would say, a 41.5 to 42 millimeters. And if you do measure from that bezel to bezel point of this watch, it measures right around 41.5 millimeters for those that are on the fence. So if you're trying to figure out what might work for you, keep that in mind as a metric, especially with that lug to lug that's probably more in line with a case size of that dimension. So who is this Speedmaster generally for? It's for somebody that wants a contemporary take on the Omega Speedmaster family without deviating too far from the path, while also demonstrating an underrated feature of Omega with their use of different materials and mastering them to a high standard and degree. And finally, while looking great in the process, and one that's going to certainly turn heads. But all right, guys, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Really do appreciate that. It does help out the channel. Also, if you are in the market for this watch, we do have it available on TeddyBaldassarre.com. TeddyBaldassarre.com is an authorized dealer for over 30 brands, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, and a full factory warranty for all the products that we offer. And how we're able to fund all of our productions and the content here is through selling watches. So if you are in the market for this watch, we'd love to have your business. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.